So by now we know that an engine is a system that takes in an air-fuel mixture as an input and gives us power as an output. And in the last 4 videos, we've spoken extensively about how we get this air, how we get the fuel, how we mix it all together, and how we give it as an input to the engine. So if you aren't familiar with that, we'll make it a playlist of all the videos that we've made and put it up on the channel. But for now, we've spoken about how we get the input, and now we want the output, which is the power. And we're asking the engine, how do you do this? Which is what we'll talk about in this video today. All about engines. Welcome to the Buckman experiment.
Ta-da!
So we're going to make this explanation as simple as possible in that it makes sense to you logically. If you already have an idea of how an engine works, this might seem a bit elementary school to you, but explain it like you explain it to a 5-year-old. That's the motto on this channel. Right, so for example, let's say we're talking about a 4-stroke petrol engine, and let's say it's a V4 engine. So a V4 engine has 4 cylinders, and please don't mistake these 4 here to be 4 cylinders. They're not. They're just 1 cylinder, and it's the 4 strokes of 1 cylinder that I've put up here. Just so it's like a scrapbook. You scroll through what happens in each stroke of 1 cylinder. It's not a V. Just because it's a V4 doesn't mean I've drawn 4 cylinders here. It's 4 strokes of the same 1 cylinder, and that happens 4 times in a V4. Let me not even write that, it's confusing. And also, just before we start the explanation of how it works, let me just label the parts like it's a school 2-mark question. So quickly, the intake manifold that takes in the air, exhaust, obviously input and output, exhaust. This is a camshaft, this guy that operates the valves, inlet and outlet valves. This is a spark plug. This is the piston, and this is a connecting rod, but this is the crankshaft. Sorry, what was that accent? Crankshaft. Okay, so 4-stroke engine, 4 strokes. Let's go through the strokes. First stroke is the intake stroke. So what happens here? Very simple understanding. Let's just say both valves are closed first, so nothing can come in here, nothing can go out of here. The camshaft operates it. It's like it's got 2 hands. It like opens or closes by doing that. So for now it's like that, and it's closed both the valves, and air comes in, and we've got a fuel injector here. Did I say fuel injector? This is fuel injector, and injects the fuel. So now we've got an air-fuel mixture here, and both valves are closed. So for the intake stroke, first stroke, this does that. So the valve opens, this is closed, so air-fuel mixture comes into here. So we've got the air-fuel mixture filling this cylinder here. So when the air-fuel mixture fills the cylinder, the piston that was here goes down. So that's the first stroke, which means intake, taking in the air-fuel mixture and pushing the piston down. Second stroke is called the compression stroke. And as the name suggests, we've got this air-fuel mixture that came in the intake stroke. So we want to compress that. So air-fuel mixture has come into the cylinder here, and the camshaft will close both the valves. So the air-fuel mixture is trapped in here. The piston that had gone down when the intake happened, now that everything's closed and this is all trapped, it comes back up and compresses the air-fuel mixture. So second stroke done, compression. Third stroke is the combustion. It's really hard to write like sideways. Also known as the power stroke, arguably the most important stroke. Pistons up here, valves are closed, air-fuel mixture is compressed and trapped up here. At this point, we will ignite it with the use of the spark plug, which creates an explosion and forces the piston back down again. So that is the combustion stroke. And finally, the fourth stroke, the exhaust stroke. exhaust stroke. So assuming we have the air fuel mixture that we had was a perfect 14.7 to 1, again that's not how you write it, 14.7 to 1 air to fuel ratio. If it was that ratio, then when we burnt it here in the combustion stroke, all the oxygen should have been used up, and ideally it should be only exhaust gases that are remaining in the chamber now. So at the end of the combustion stroke, when the whole ignition thing happened, the piston was forced down. Now that only exhaust gases remain here, the piston comes back up. At that point, the camshaft opens up the exhaust valve, which forces the which moves the exhaust gases out of the cylinder. That's the exhaust stroke. So those are the 4 strokes of a 4-stroke petrol engine. Just to recap one last time, stroke 1 is the intake. Inlet valve opens, air fuel mixture fills up the cylinder, which causes the piston to go down. Second stroke is compression. Piston is down, both valves are closed, and the air fuel mixture is here. So we bring the piston back up to compress the air fuel mixture here. Stroke 3 is combustion. We've got both valves closed, air fuel mixture is up here, and it was compressed. So we use the spark plug to ignite and cause an explosion, which causes the piston to go back down again. So it was up, it went down, it came back up, now it went back down again. And then finally, assuming we've burnt everything, we've got only exhaust gases remaining here, and we open the exhaust valve and let the exhaust gases out, and the piston comes back up again. So finally you see this down, up, continuous motion, the vertical motion of the piston connecting rod. That happens about 400 to 500 times per minute per cylinder. So that's a lot of motion of the piston, the connecting rod, which is connected to the crankshaft here. So this motion is converted to torque, rotational motion. So at the end of the day, what we've successfully managed to do is feed it air fuel mixture and get a rotational motion as power. So all of this crankshaft rotational motion is in series connected to a flywheel. So all the air fuel mixture, all the strokes, all the combustion, etc., the motion is converted into torque, and at the end of the day, we've got an entire flywheel that is rotating. And that's handy, right? Because at the end of all this, now we've managed to get a flywheel that is spinning around, and our objective with the car is to get our wheels spinning around. So now we're getting somewhere, so all of this was production of power. And in the future videos, we'll talk about how we process this power to get the wheels turning over and to get us going in the car. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you understood in layman's terms how an engine works. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the love on the last video. I really appreciate it. And until next time, and bye.